We are live, and that also means that I am it is way too late for me to edit this graphic, and it's a little larger than I wanted it to be. I didn't want to steal attention away from the new moon, but I want you to see. I want you to peer above the graphic and look at the new moon. You can see it. There it is. First light. The sighting at first light. Chodesh Shebat. Not Shabbat. Chodesh Shebat. There it is. New moon of the rod. That means this is the 10th month of the year. Not the 12th. And not the 1st, but the 10th. And if you do look at that graphic, that's a QR code. Tap it if you're on your phone, or you can pull up your phone. If you're looking at this on a TV or a computer screen, you can pull up your phone and you can aim your camera at the QR code and tap that, and it'll take you to the Unahia movement page. Go on ahead and do that. That's where we will take your reactions. If you have a reaction, you can do a short. You can do a YouTube short and upload it to YouTube, and then give us the URL in a direct message on the Unahia page, and we will feature your short in a video on this channel. And we'll have and that way we can kind of stage a sort of discussion with those of you who do that. You can react to this video, say anything you want. You've only got 1 minute. It's a YouTube short. That's the maximum time you've got. But you've got 1 minute to give your response, and we will show you your video and respond to it, and kind of turn it into a conversation here on the channel. We'll do that in an upcoming video. It won't take long for you to see yourself on the channel. I personally would rather do that than comment if I were you, but you can leave a comment down below. Obviously, of course, this is YouTube. Everything is the same. You're always welcome to just leave a comment. Please do so. Like and subscribe while you're at it. But I would really strongly encourage you to leave to create a YouTube short just on your phone. Just pull up just on your phone, pull out your camera and say whatever it is you need to say. Preferably showing yourself, but whatever, doesn't have to be. And then give us the URL, and we'll put but you gotta be a member on the you gotta be a Unahia movement member. You gotta be a member. If you're a member, we'll do it. So you gotta be a member in order to even send us that on the page. You gotta go to and we've got a link in the description box to the Unahia page. You can go there and either using this QR code or using the link in the description box. Either way, and you'll be able to give us your reaction, your YouTube short. But I just want to remind everybody why we're actually here. We're here because of the new moon. And yes, as the title indicates, the prophecy that has come with this new moon. Because see, for those who don't know, that shape of the light of the moon right there, what the heathen likes to call, what the foreigner likes to call a waxing crescent. That waxing crescent, that waxing crescent is a symbol on the seal of the Cherokee Council. You go into the Cherokee Council, you will see that waxing crescent symbol looking just like that. For a reason. Because we don't believe that the new moon is what they say the new moon is. They call the black moon the new moon. The black moon is not the new moon, it's the black moon. The new moon is when you see the new light of the new month. See what I'm saying? That's the new moon.
Shalosio Yatzarel. It's your brother, your cousin, your nephew, young Aniyunwiyah, reporting live on behalf of the Great Spirit, Aye, Asher, Aye, to complete your awakening and to let you know that despite what they told you, your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness and your law is the truth, not theirs. Your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and your law is the truth, not theirs. Y'all come on in here, okay? This is important to me. It's important that we talk about this, okay? And I know that you've seen the title already, so if you're even a little bit as judgmental as our people are want to be, you already know. I know that the Christians, I know that the black Hebrew Israelites, I know that, you know, all of those types of people are gonna feel some type of way about even just even the title. Even the title. It is what it is. All right? It is what it is. Listen. The truth is a message came to me. All right? Let's call a spade a spade. I'm saying exactly what you think I'm saying. A message came to me. A message came, and I was dozing off at night. I was going to sleep in bed next to my wife. I'm falling asleep in a very normal situation, very normal night. And as I'm dozing, I'm not even fully sure at the time that I even fell asleep. I'm not even sure if I fell asleep. As I'm dozing, I experience it. If that makes any sense. I experience whatever you want to call it. I was in the process of falling asleep. No way I could have even entered REM sleep. Because again, I wasn't even sure that I had fallen asleep. But in a split second, like in the blink of an eye, I caught like a whole dream. It was like a thought, but very complete and very much comprised of many thoughts. It was whole. And actually, there were no visuals to the dream. It was just an understanding. The same way sometimes when you're in a dream, you experience something where, you know, it's almost like another person is in your dream, and even though they don't say anything, you somehow have this understanding that comes to you. You understand that they're thinking something somehow, even though they didn't say anything in the dream. Whoever this person is, this character in your dream, you know what they're thinking because it was just the will of the dream that you know, that at a certain point you come to know, and suddenly the understanding comes to you. Or somehow, you know, you're in a dream, everything's normal, and somehow you just randomly get the understanding that something bad's gonna happen. Same thing. It was like that. So no visual while I'm receiving this this little experience. However, visuals did come retrospectively, after the fact. Now, fast forwarding a little bit, after the dream, you know, I have this message. I have this new understanding of something, which is what I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you what the understanding was that came to me. That's what I'm really here to tell you. But I need you to get this context so you can understand it. And understand why I would be so bold as to even make a video like this, why to even talk about this publicly in a stream or whatever. Fast forward a little bit from that night. Over the course of the next 7 months, I did nothing. I continued to study things related to my experience, but I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything aside from research. That was it. I didn't, you know, I actually already had this inkling of an idea that perhaps maybe one day I would start my own YouTube channel. But no, I wasn't doing anything. And in fact, I really was dragging my feet on that. I was dragging my feet. And because I did that, dragging my feet for 7 months, the possessor of the primordial waters, whom you might refer to as the Great Spirit. In Salagi, we'll say Unelanochi. In the Tetonsu, you will say Wakantanka. Or other Su might say Wakanda, right? The Great Spirit wreaked havoc in my life. I was hunted down by the possessor of primordial waters. And havoc, chaos in my life, afflicting my family. You have to understand, 2023 became very rough for me. And I couldn't understand why. It was a combination of things. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but I lapsed in keeping HaTorah. And I also was not indulging in this revelation. So a lot of crap happened. A lot of crap happened. I'm not going to go into details on what, but a lot of crap happened. And because of all the havoc, it wasn't until I neared the end of these 7 months, until I had completed, I went through crap. I went through crap for a long time. And so more time was passing, and I began to realize that the cause of my issues could be my own actions. Because listen, it's one thing to study all this stuff that we're studying, but on a spiritual level, the question becomes, at what point do we take into consideration the spiritual beliefs of our ancestors? We tend to think of their beliefs as kind of silly, to be honest, right? It's, let's be honest. I think that's what a lot of you think. I think that's what a lot of you think. I can admit that I certainly thought so. But the experience I'm telling you about, the reason I'm telling you about it is to elucidate for you the reasons why I've been brought to give greater consideration to those ancestral beliefs and understand that it's not silly. It's not silly. There really is a spiritual element to this life. There really is. And you and as many people will tell you, and they are right, no, you can't find it in a church. You can't. It's impossible, actually. So I take that back. It's not impossible. But I'm not going to go into what actually goes on with that. Anyway, back to the topic. So all of these things, the culmination of all of this is that my experiences have compelled me to have to speak on the day of the new moon, on the night of the new moon. All right? That's why we're here. This is Chodesh Shabbat. And I know what that sounds like. It sounds like I said the Hebrew word for Sabbath. I did not. Not Shabbat, Shebat. Chodesh Shebat. Chodesh Shebat. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's the new moon of the rod. It's the new moon of the rod. That's a sign. The rod is a sign. You understand? First of all, every new moon is a sign to begin with. But the rod itself, that this would be the new moon of the rod, is its own sign. The rod is a sign. If that makes any sense. Does that make any sense to anybody? The rod is a sign, first of all, of judgment. It's a sign of judgment. First and foremost. The rod is judgment. Right? You understand, we're from an ancient perspective, we come from a pastoral people, right? Shepherding. The rod is used to chastise those of the herd, those of the flock who are wayward, going rogue, or ambling mindlessly. Right? To get them back in check. That's the rod. It's judgment. It is corrective. This is the new moon of corrective judgment. That's what this is. All right? We haven't entered a new year yet, despite what the Gregorian calendar may say. But what we have entered is the new moon of corrective judgment. And you also have to understand about this corrective judgment, that rod, you already know what it is, right? It's not just a stick. It's not just a staff. It's not just a rod, right? It's the devouring serpent. Uktena. In Salagi, we say Uktena, right? That's what we're talking about. And for those of you who claim to be Cherokee, but you don't know what I'm talking about when I say some of these words, that's you're demonstrating my previous point. How can you identify as indigenous and not care about indigenous belief systems? Aboriginal thought was not stupid. Why would you get into yoga and seek the enlightenment of someone else's people when your own ancestors had already figured all of that out for you? So here's what's happening. I think that the possessor of primordial waters has been pushing me to do this now in time for Chodesh Shevat. In time for the new moon of the corrective judgment. All right. So you gotta hear, you gotta peep what I'm trying to say here. Here's the reality of the situation. So I'm now going into explaining to you my understanding of how I even received the message. My understanding is this. My understanding is that the one who is like the Great Spirit, the one who is like the possessor of the primordial waters, the one who is like the Creator, he forwarded an ancient message that had already been disseminated. We are now in the awakening. Our people in ancient times became afflicted by the spirit of sleep. For those of you who don't understand, I'll break that down in another video. But the spirit of sleep is a thing, and we're now experiencing the awakening, right? Well, in this awakening, a message, an ancient message that actually predates the wind of sleep has now gone out with the wind of awakening. The wind of deep sleep is being countered by the wind of awakening, and the wind of awakening has brought back a message that we were unfit to receive for 2,000 years. Over 2,000 years. We've been unfit to receive it for like 2,500 years. I am probably not the only one to receive it. I'm not. I'm actually certain I'm not. I know of at least one other person whom I've never met that has received it in her own way. I'm not even gonna, I shouldn't have even said that because I don't want to bring her up in this video. I'm gonna talk about that in a different video. The point is, it's an ancient message, and the one who is like the Great Spirit, the one who is like the elements, forwarded that ancient message from the ancient seers that had been disseminated to the ancient seers to people both young and old today. And the messenger that brought it my way is the messenger of Kagunyi. Kagunyi, I'm here to tell you, has been vacated. Again, for those of you who claim to be Cherokee and don't understand what Kagunyi is, you're not doing your job. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. Feel me? So I'm here to declare that brass is dead. You can research Kagunyi on your own. I'll break it down in another video, but let me just go on ahead and get to the point. The messenger of Kagunyi sent 8 birds. This is a true story. And this wasn't in the dream. I'm now telling you about a real life experience. Over the course of 8 months, 8 moons passed, and under each of these 8 moons was a bird that dropped a feather directly in front of me, directly in front of my path. What I'm saying is that 8 different birds in 8 different moons, 8 different months, dropped off feathers from their own bodies in my path when I was on my way to work, when I was on my way home, when I was on my way out of my house. Various situations, different circumstance every time, but always a feather laying in my path. 8 times that happened. 8 times that happened. 2022 to 2023. 8 times. The feathers of the indigenous fowl of your territory do not simply place are not simply placed in front of you for no reason. For any of you who have ever experienced this, you are being anointed. That's what that is. You are being chosen by nature itself. Nature sends those who are mobile, sends the beasts of the field and the fowl of the air to convey to you that you are chosen for a purpose. If you have wondered what the significance of feathers was for so many different indigenous tribes, this is part of what that was. Part of it is simply the fact that feathers were indicative of the anointing that one could receive from the elements. The elements are also whom you would refer to as Elohim. So this is an anointing. I had to come to grips with the fact that that was even happening. But remember, I didn't do my job. I was anointed, but then I didn't do my job. So the problem is, because I didn't do my job, I was then given 2 more feathers. Most of these are crow feathers. You see, I'm rocking them, right? You see this. You see this on me. I'm rocking them. There's way more where this came from. You only see 3 on me right now. But look at that. It's a crow feather, okay? Most of my feathers are crow feathers. This one's a crow feather on my left arm. And most of my feathers are crow feathers. But suddenly, because I wasn't doing my job, I was brought the feathers of a different bird, a different species. And these feathers were mangled. They weren't in the pristine condition that these other feathers were in. I mean, I'm telling you, all of these feathers, this is 10 total. 10 feathers in total. 8 birds in 8 moons. And then I don't act for 7 months. And then 2 feathers mangled. One on a beach. Mangled. The feathers were messed up. I was supposed to start this channel forever ago. Okay? I'm super late. I'm way late. I delayed. And that's on me. That's on me. But as a result of me not doing what I was supposed to do, the Most High, the Creator, she began to rush me. She began to impress upon me this sense of urgency, because the wind of awakening is picking up velocity. And she said, if you don't move with me, I will trample you. If you don't follow this wind, you'll be in the eye of the tornado, and you will end up getting swallowed. You will get devoured. I felt that. That's what was happening. All right? So, and I'm really speeding through my experience here as I'm talking about it to you. All right? But the point is, I had to return to Torah in order for my life to get back in order. All right? I had to return to Torah in order to change things. And I can't even express to you how quickly they changed. Everything changed. I have 5 kids. We're a household of 7, and we should have been homeless by now. We should have been homeless by now. I can't even explain to you everything that was going on. Everything has turned around. Especially when I look back at the time period during which I was receiving the feathers in the first place. I told you, 8 birds, 8 moons. You know how much money I was making back then? And then I got slack with the Torah, got slack with the message, got slack with everything, and everything went south. Everything went sideways. When I returned to Torah, everything picked back up. And not only did I return to Torah, I began working on getting ready for this channel. I began doing this work. I began doing my work. So let me tell you what my job is now. All right, this is the point of the video. This is the point of the stream. I hope y'all are paying attention. My job is to prophesy. All right? And I don't know if I will ever have the job of doing this again. I have one message. I have one. And the Creator has barely been able to trust me with this. It hasn't gone well, okay? This message is late, but here it is. My job is to prophesy against the Levant and declare the war for desolate heritages. I'm declaring the war for desolate heritages upon the Levant. It's a great war. All right? This is also the death of Unsayyi. Brass. Go look up Kagunyi. Please understand that this channel, and I'm not done. I'm not done with the message. I'm going to explain this in full. I'm almost done here. I'm wrapping it up. Understand that this channel is going to run on a lunar schedule. All right? Because when I said when I pledged that I would return to Torah, I had to mean it. I had to be really about it, and I dedicated this channel to the Creator. So we're going to be on a lunar posting schedule dedicated to Adonai Yahuwah Elohim. All right? Check this out. Please understand this. Prophecy is not prediction. I'm about to explain the war for desolate heritages, but you have to understand before I explain it that prophecy is not prediction. That's not what prophecy is. Do not think that because I am prophesying, I am trying to predict something that will happen in the future. That is absolutely not the case. What I am saying to you is that prophecy is not prediction, but rather it is you speaking something into existence. Creation, which was dream time to the Yolngu, who truly retained an understanding of what we are in. All of this is the dream of the Creator. We are living in it. And the Creator dreamed everything into existence. Everything was spoken. And the Creators, plural, Elohim, did their job in populating this dream with all the energy and matter that you see, that you experience, that you witness, that you touch, that you feel. They spoke it into existence. Creation was prophecy. Do you understand that? I'm not predicting, I'm telling. There's a very big difference in those two concepts. I am explaining to reality what must happen. In the same way that the rain falls down onto the earth and waters the soil, and brings forth vegetation that sprouts fruit, so shall my word be when it goes forth. When I speak it, it happens. It will bear fruit. It will cause a real circumstance to sprout into reality, and it will not return unto me void. It will not return unto me void. Understand that it was supposed to happen exactly this way. Your young men would see visions, would they not? And your old would dream dreams, would they not? Your daughters would prophesy, would they not? That's what was said. Esau is the end of the world, is he not? Esau is the end of the world. And Yaakov is the beginning of the world that comes after it. So, with that in mind, I gotta say this. Ebra Kedabri, the Great Spirit, the possessor of the primordial waters, is going to avenge Wael al-Dadu by fanning the flames of war against Benjamin Netanyahu, who will trigger the greatest threat his state has ever seen. Let that sink in. Iran and Nilotic Africa and the Arab North Africa will become confederate against them in this attack, and Saudi Arabia will sit on the sidelines and accuse the state of Israel of preying upon the Arab world with leverage from the West. The war of the desolate heritages is going to fulfill this prophecy as it has been stated. And fulfillment is going to serve as a sign that Yahuwah is not only real, but holy. This will sanctify Hashem Adonai Yahuwah Elohim. This begins the purge of the land. And the next phase of the purge is going to be beyond this war, Beyond the war, on the other side of the war for Desolate Heritages, will be the next phase of the purge, which is floods and earthquakes, unbearable heat, and volcanic eruption. Lands of the Middle East are going to devour their inhabitants very soon. It's about to happen. An entire regional ecosystem is going to experience violent upheaval. That's the message I was given. I was given that message because, and I don't know if people understand that this isn't necessarily how it works, but I was given that message because the servants of the Most High are tasked with doing a job. We are chosen to speak things into existence. That is the method that she chooses to use to do what she will do. I want to close out with a prayer, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. But it's a serious prayer. This is part of how we make it happen. This is part of how we speak it into existence. Shalom Alechem Adonai Yahuwah Elohai Asher Abdeka Yair Aleka Ata Hallelujah Yahuwah Hashem Elyon Male Et Hamakom Hatze Hakabod Yahuwah Shabaot Eye Abdeka Hatzoe Yatzarel Ebra Kadabri Elohim Yegalud Serawa Kadsheka Leene Kal Hagoyim Weyadu Kiata Yahuwah HaElohim Haiti Kemofet Lerabim Weata Machasi Ots Weata Shalech Weata Shalech Malakim Ad Abdeka Yahuwah Tzid Kenu Ata Malakim Elohim Yiragetsu Leene Kal Hagoyim Sele. The burden of the word of the Most High. It don't play. Y'all get ready, because I don't play either. This is real. No pun intended.
First light of the new moon of the rod of judgment is coming. You see it. So I know you know. They know too. And just like the seers who came before me, the indigenous seers who came before me, Ruach Henana of the Maori, Tenskwatawa of the Shawnee, and most of all, Smohala of the Wa'ashani. All I'm doing is showing you what's up. That's all I'm doing. All I'm doing is returning to the original way. That's all they were doing too. It's nothing crazy. And when you return to the original way, your power becomes your power again. Your ancestors were not ridiculous. They were not idiots. They were not stupid. They were not crazy. Your ancestors knew what was up. Your ancestors were connected. They were tapped in. Be tapped in. The only way you can be tapped in is if you come out of the traditions of this world, this society, and revert back to the traditions of old, the traditions of the ancient. You have to go back to the ancient. Look at this. Look at the rod of judgment up there. There it is. Look past the graphic. Look high in the sky, up high. It is a sign that the Most High will be sanctified. That is its purpose. That is the purpose of this sign. The sanctification of the Most High is said to come a specific way. And if you know the words of our ancient scrolls, then you know what's supposed to happen to make that happen. You already know. You should already know. It's not crazy. All right? Once again, if you have anything to say, if you got a response, of course, you can leave it in the comments below. Leave a comment below in the description box. But also, you have the option for any who are bold enough, or any who are willing, any who would like to participate. This is how we roll here. Create a small video on your phone, less than a minute. Upload it to YouTube as a YouTube short. And then share the URL. Share the URL on the Uniyunwiyah page. The Uniyunwiyah page, you can get to it through using the link in the description box, but you can also use the QR code that you see on the screen, this big graphic. You can point your phone camera at it, and your smartphone will automatically give you the option to tap a link that immediately takes you into your browser and to a web page. That is the page, the home page of the Uniyunwiyah movement. You can go to the Uniyunwiyah movement and share your link there in a direct message to the administrator. You share that as a direct message with the link to your YouTube short. We will feature very soon. We will feature in an upcoming video your shorts and stage a discussion. Using your shorts, we will stage a discussion. We can react, we can respond to what you say in reaction and in response to this video, to this stream. All right? We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear. It doesn't matter if you've got something positive or negative to say. Go on ahead and be negative if that's how you feel. Go on ahead and be negative if that's how you feel. Say whatever you say whatever you're feeling like. We'll take that. We'll take that. Go ahead. Like I said, the link is in the description box, and you've got the QR code on the screen. But in order for you to share your YouTube short link, you've got to sign up as a member on the Uniyunwiyah page. You've got to become a member. We're going to be coming out with videos regularly. You're going to want to be able to do this a lot. You're going to be able to respond to a lot of videos that we do. This is always an option. At any given time, you can make a response to any of the videos that we make. And you can go to the Uniyunwiyah page and share it with the admin, and then we'll put that on. And then we'll put your YouTube short in one of our videos, and we'll respond to that. I promise we'll be respectful. I promise you that. Even if you're disrespectful, we'll be respectful. That's that, y'all. I've said everything I need to say. You see what's up there. You see what it is. Even the Black Hebrew Israelites acknowledge what's sacred about the new moon, and yet a lot of them don't even abide by it. They don't see the power in it. They don't understand what's up. They don't understand what they're really dealing with when they claim to be Hebrew. Same way a lot of you don't understand what you're dealing with when you claim to be Shawnee, or when you claim to be Chickasaw, or when you claim to be Lenape, or when you claim to be Lakota, or when you claim to be Cheyenne, when you claim to be Cherokee, when you claim to be Muskogee, when you claim to be any of the Algonquian nations. And again, for those who don't know about the indigenous traditions, if you go among the council of the Cherokee Nation, you will see a crest, an insignia that resembles that moon right there, that exact shape. that waxing crescent, that's what that is. That's exactly what that is. That's the new moon. If you ask an astronomer, they're going to tell you that's not the new moon. They're going to tell you it's a waxing crescent. We know better if we listen to our ancestors. We know better. Because those same astronomers are also going to tell you that this is the first month of the year. It is clearly the 10th. It is the 10th month of the year. Not the first, not the 12th, the 10th. It's the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's all one thing. And no matter which one you are, the biggest problem you've got, I promise you, is that you don't know how to take back control of what you were. There's a reason why both the Hebrew and the indigenous American are treated in the American folklore or in Western folklore as this mystical people. When they make a movie about Pocahontas, what do they show? Pocahontas talking to a magical tree with a face. Why? Because that's the way they think of you. That's the way they see you. They see you as a magical people. And it's not for no reason. They were afraid of you when they met you. They were afraid of you when they met you. There's power in what you are. You just don't know what you are, so you don't know how to reclaim that. You have yet to even really fully reclaim your identity. And we're going to talk about that in my very next video. My first actual video, because this is a live stream, my first non-live video, I'm going to be talking about exactly how we're going to reclaim our identity so that you guys can get your power back. All right? We're going to talk about that. And it sounds spiritual, but actually that video, this live stream is spiritual. That video that's coming up, that's political. That's political. But we got to get it done. We got to get it done. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. We're going to do this step by step. I'm going to break it down. I love you, family. I love you. Shalom Aleichem.